more like what the record suggested it should be in the earlier matchups with these?
Yeah, a little bit. But you know they've got a really young group, and you know, but if you look back at the last game in Nashville here, they won 4-0. You know, the first period was very similar. We were all over them. We just couldn't find the back of the net that game, and they had a good push in the second period. Obviously, they got a young team, and sometimes you know you sort of get on your heels. And I thought we forechecked well and kept them on their heels, and you know, they came out and had a good push in the second period. We got away from a little bit of our details, got away a little bit from our hustle a little bit in the second, and they had some. They didn't have a lot of shots, but they had some almost chances, you know, and those, you know, on some nights those end up in your net. So we have to tighten that up. And in the third period, I thought we were okay. You know, they got most of their chances on the power play, and then obviously the great save of Pex there with 2:43 to go. That was not too bad.
I think David Legwand has something like 19 points in the 18 games since you guys got Mike Fisher. How has that acquisition kind of freed Legwand up to sort of play more offensive game?
I think I don't know if it's freed him up. I just think that to me, I thought Leggy was outstanding today. He took the puck to the net. He was strong. He was skating. He was working. His compete level was very, very high, and that's same with Marty Erad and Joel Ward. That line's all because they are skating and they are working, and have a lot of those details. I think with Fish giving a complementary type of centerman, I think what that does is you can get away from certain guys, and we've been getting some scoring from Patrick Hornquist, a very nice goal on the power play just off the rush. So. We're just getting contributions from everyone, and the last game it was Jeff Brown's line that did most of the damage. Edmonton they play hard. I give them a lot of credit. They've got such a young team, and they're going through sort of a rebuild. But in Edmonton, they're going to have an exciting team down the road. I mean, they got some talent, they got tremendous speed, and Tom's done just a fantastic job of keeping them focused on being better all the time and on building something great there in Edmonton. So they've given us fits all year.
I guess sort of the question was, has there been sort of a difference with Legwand in the last 19 games or so, or 18 games?
I just think Leggy's been in the league a little bit, and he just elevated his game. He recognized two things. I think early in the season, he sometimes looks at the 82 games and he gets off to a little bit of a slow start, but then he sort of hits his stride, and as the games get more and more important, he seems to elevate his level. And tonight he was the best player on the ice.
You put lines together hoping they're going to produce, but did you ever think this line Erat and Legwand would be as successful as they have?
Yeah, because they were together last year. They were a #1 line a couple times last year. So yeah, no, I've seen it, and Marty and Leggy have played together. And Leggy gets all the tough assignments. He's playing these top lines every night. And same with Joel and Marty, and just as suits and webs too. So it's good to see because he's got so much ability. Leggy, and when he's playing the way he is, he's a very good, very very good player, and we're going to need him to play that way every night, and he has. We wouldn't be in the position we are probably without David stepping up the way he has since Marcel's gone down, and we got Mike Fisher.
Ultimately, with Thursday's game looming, was this? You think there was a harder job for the players to focus tonight than a lot of other times? Or?
Well, it's a different focus. I mean, it's pretty easy to get up when you're playing a Detroit on a Saturday night, or we've got Anaheim and Dallas we're staring at each other in the standings. This one is we've had so many hard games since the All-Star break that sometimes it's harder to rev up. But I thought the guys were really professional today. They ramped it up early, got on Edmonton, were able to capitalize, and we got away from it a bit in the second, but we pulled it back together in the third, and we won the hockey game, and that's what you want to do. You want to manage the game, and we managed the game all right.
Considering the way the last game went, or 2 games ago, the home game against these guys, when you guys lost the first period, was it sort of an exhale moment when you guys scored the first goal?
Yeah, it is, because they have to chase you now, and in our game we were all over them, and then they get one chance and then end up in our net, and you go, all right, what's going to happen? And then you get sort of frustrated, and then what happens is guys care so much that everybody wants to be the hero, and what happens, you sort of, instead of coming together, you sort of pull apart and get frustrated and what have you. So today getting the first goal today was a little bit of a relief, because we've had trouble with the Edmonton Oilers this year. Had trouble with the province of Alberta, actually.
Given Peck's the day off Sunday, I know he didn't see a lot of shots today, but kind of seem more relaxed or rested.
Yeah, it's so mentally draining, especially Peck's. We haven't given him a lot of room to breathe with most games, so mentally it's been really draining. And then getting Lindy in that game, who Jeff Ron had the big game, but Lindy was really important in that game. Played very well, and getting that win and giving just a break to Peck's, I thought was huge. And then he's had tonight, and now he's probably going to carry the ball right to the end here. So well-deserved rest, and we'll try to keep him fresh.
Was the big win on Sunday, was that kind of a turning point in the playoff chase?
I don't know if it's a turning point. I mean, we're not in the playoffs. We're still in the chase, but it was an important game, because I think if you're the other teams that are in that battle right now, you're probably looking at that schedule of ours last week, where you saw Boston, who's a top team, and you saw Detroit, who's a top team, and then you see the quick turnaround at Buffalo, who's a good hockey team and a desperate hockey team, with that quick turnaround, and we lose an hour and what have you. I think the other teams are going, well, they'll lose maybe 1, maybe 2 games there, and all of a sudden, we get the Boston game, we get the Detroit game, and then we go and have a real great comeback in that Buffalo game, and then we bounce back. I mean, the other teams are going, we expected those losses there, or you're hoping for a loss, and we didn't give them that break. So we're keeping the mental pressure on the other teams as well, making it real hard on them, and that's really important in this race as well.
What were your thoughts when Pekka decided to shoot the puck late in the third period?
I was going, get it over that guy, and I hope you score, kid. Well deserved. We're up by 2, and we sort of talked about it. If they make a poor clear, just go for it, kid. You deserve it. And that one defender at the back just got his glove on it. So it would have been nice, but we gave him that privilege, I guess. And most times you wouldn't, because of the points. But he's been so good that I think that was something that you give him that privilege. Because if they would have scored, I don't think they would ever scored again rest of the night, because he would have just held the fort. So we gave him a little bit of freedom there.
Good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.